Well, here we go. I'm going to give week 2 a shot. I don't really have my voice quite all the way back, but I want to get moving on this because I'm anxious to get it over with. I'm anxious to get done with reviewing my life so we can move on to what I already know I want to do after that, which is going to be a weekly video on the new things I'm learning, the new things that are happening in my life, because I've decided, why do I count on my blessings every day? Because there really is no other choice. So, let's get on with my life. I think I ended around 10, 12, somewhere in there years old. So I'm going to go ahead and move right into my teens. And my teens through, oh Lord, I don't know. I'm going to say to my 50s right now off the top of my head. Probably involved the greatest amount of my screw-ups, sins, errors, mistakes, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to shoot through them faster than I originally planned on and try to hit at least all the highlights, the bigger ones that I can think of and remember as I go. Before I get started though, I think it's important to review again why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to share it all in the hopes that it might connect with somebody who's also made mistakes, errors, sins, whatever you want to call them, but hasn't learned what I learned yet. They're still living with them, whether they're in the forefront of their mind or the background of their mind. Let me try to shorten this and put it in perspective this way. When I first got diagnosed with what we thought was Bell's palsy, and I'd had it for over a year, and nothing was happening. As you know, my kids are involved in a missionary-based life right now. I went to one of their things where they had a healer, a guy who was well known as being able to heal, going around trying to heal people in the room. Saw some pretty wild stuff that day. But when they got to me, and they tried to heal me, it didn't work. But they kept saying something about forgiveness. And not being a forgiveness, something in there not being done. And I searched my mind, and I prayed on it. To my knowledge, I thought I'd asked for forgiveness on everything. I tried to forgive on everything I could think of, and I didn't know what I was missing. I think I may have found a few things since then. We'll cover those as we go through the videos. But I fully feel I have now. If there's something I'm missing, I got no clue what it is, and I'm trusting the Lord to help me find it if there's still anything out there. But I do think I've learned, and I think the Lord wants you to know, no matter what the heck it is you did, you want a full life moving forward? You want to start being a blessing to yourself, your family, and others? You got to grab hold of that fact that is true, full, absolute forgiveness. Forget about it. It's in the past. Nobody can change it. It's over with. Move on. Start doing better every day. Start trying to get closer to the Lord every day. Live your life every day in this materialistic, worldly world, staying connected to the Lord, and you're going to start forgetting about your past and counting your blessings every day. All right, too much of that. Move on. So anyway, into my teens. Let's see, the first big screw up in my teens. I'm going to say I was 14. Had a buddy who was over 16. He worked at a drugstore. And talked my parents into letting us camp out in the backyard in a family tent. And he scored 2 bottles of, I think it was rum, So I scored 2 bottles, I think it was back then, liter bottles of Coke. two big bottles of rum, 2 liter bottles of Coke. Weren't we smart? We had cigarettes. He got rubbers from the drugstore, which I think were, he got a whole case. We needed a whole case. What the heck? We'd invited 2 neighbor girls from down the road over that night, too. Nothing ever happened, by the way, that way, with the rubbers, other than a funny story. But we were sure setting out to head that direction. What did happen was, we sat out there, and we drank the rum and Coke till we ran out of Coke, and then kept drinking the rum. We were smoking cigarettes. I don't remember all of us, or at least I know I was part of it. And next thing I know, I see a shadow coming from the house. It's my dad. My mom had sent him out. I'll never forget, we threw the sleeping bags over the girls. Here, unzip comes the front door of the tent. This is a big family-sized tent. I'm sure if it hadn't already leaked out, the odor of cigarette smoke and rum was wafting out of that tent in huge amounts. And I remember my dad, what the hell is going on in here? And I'm sitting there trying to guide myself on the front pole of the tent. Nothing. God. Stupid fucking kids. 14 years old and I'm doing this shit. What the hell's wrong? Oh Lord, what's wrong with me? So, of course, my poor mother scared the fuck out of her. Threw me in the shower. Screaming, yelling, I don't know, call the emergency room, call the whatever, worried I was going to die. Rightfully so. And the next day, of course, I felt like shit. My mother made me go out and clean off the tent where my friends had left me presents. Hard to do in that condition. My buddy with the prophylactics had taken off, with the rubbers taken off through the back lot. There was an empty lot behind our house. And I told you, he took a whole dispenser box, so he left a trail of them. So here I am out there doing this film like shit. My younger brother and sister watching me, giggling under their breath, I'm sure, if I remember correctly. And my mother comes up, she finds one of the rubbers from the trail, and she says, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Of course, me, what? This is a prophylactic. Oh, a rubber. Oh, what a bad child I was. I'm sorry, Mom. Dad, I'm sorry I put you through this. Really. All right, let's see if I can move up to one more. And then we'll cut it off for this week. Oh, God help me. What was the next big bad thing I did? I guess I know what I want to do for the next one, and this involves somebody I want to hear it, so I'm not going to include it in this one. So I'm going to do one last thing before I get into this. When I was around 18, I was always ahead of my time. Always. I graduated high school early, got jobs quicker than anybody else, went into college and quit college earlier than everybody else, was making more money than anybody else my age. I was working hard and playing hard. Bottom line, that's the summary. Went several different jobs where I'd make big money. Because I was making big money, I would spend it as fast as I could, and then I'd find a job that even paid more money. So I'd work even harder, make even bigger money, take off and play more money. During that time, I moved in before I was 18, I know that, into a farmhouse up in the north end of Columbus. Had my own pony, by the way. And girls over for sex and all kinds of stuff. Got involved with a nymphomaniac, that's a wild story. Drugs, not maybe at that all around that same time, we'll just wrap it up and say I got involved with every drug you can imagine that you didn't shoot in your arm. I never did that, but I tried everything else. I even got involved in selling some drugs, pot and a few pills, kind of stuff. I was a terrible person. I mean, I was having fun at the time. I thought it was cool. I was living in that house, and my roommate, which was much older than me, I was going to say, like I said, I wasn't even 18 when it started, and I bet he was 26. He was a Vietnam vet who obviously had PTSD, because the reason I moved out was, came home one day, he was all shook up over some girl and had been firing the gun in the house, and one of the bullets came this close over my bed. Thank God I wasn't laying in it. So that caused me to move in with a new roommate, who this time now I was probably 19, 20, and this roommate was 45. Oh God, was he a good influence on my life. There's a bunch of stories I could go into, but I'm not going into the detail. But at the time, I was all for it. I was having fun. Had a great group of friends. One of them, by the way, well, two of them are dead now. One of them died from too much alcohol at a young age. Young age, I'm going to say 45, 50. That lifestyle is not good for you, especially to keep it up. I don't know. I think I'm going to end it there and then pick it up in the next one. I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 more videos how to capture all the highlights, the bad points in my life. Again, doesn't matter. I'm just sharing it in hopes that, people who've done similar shit realize it ain't worth dwelling on. You got to forget about it. You got to move on. Got to forgive yourself. You got to ask for forgiveness from God and whoever else. And you got to just start learning to live every day, counting your blessings and being the biggest blessing you can be to as many people as you can be. I pray this helps everybody, somebody, anybody. I really love y'all. I love to see people on here. I love to know they're watching them. I love to see your comments, no matter what they are. Just because it helps me know, maybe I helped somebody, maybe even if they thought it was funny, whatever, that's good. Hope everybody has a very blessed day, a very blessed week, and a very blessed life. And I hope by the time that I do this next one, my voice is fully back to 100%. But I'm finding out. I'm quitting smoking, by the way, real soon. But I'm finding out that quitting talking, for me, might be just about as hard as quitting smoking. I'll keep you updated on both. Have a great day.